Okay, so here's a hot sports take for you. You know the Cheesecake Factory, that national chain restaurant? It's the worst. And today, just for you, I'm gonna enter and take one for the team. Now I have to clarify, I don't actually eat cheesecake. Cheese and cake are two things that I just see no need to combine. And I should also note that for the most part, I don't even know what the Cheesecake Factory serves. The reason I think they're the worst? Their menus. Any restaurant that has a menu that reads as long as a J.K. Rowling novel is a restaurant that's doing it wrong. And don't think I'm letting you off the hook, TGI Fridays and IHOP. You're both accomplices in this food crime as well. On the few occasions I've actually been forced into this building, I get struck with paralysis in my decision making. What just to order on the sheer number of choices alone. Not to mention there's no way a single restaurant can make that many different things and actually do any of them well. Okay, so I was watching a flag football game the other night, and seated in these stands with me was, as best as I could tell, a father and his roughly 14 to 15-year-old daughter. She was working on homework and he was sporadically engaging her in conversation. They were in my role and fairly close, so I caught a decent amount of their conversation. I wasn't actively eavesdropping until I heard Dad pose a question to his daughter, and my ears perked up a little to see where it headed. The question he posed was, is there a difference between freedom and choice? And I had to stop for a minute and ponder myself. Is there a difference between freedom and choice? Yeah, I get the whole, I'm from America, I've got freedoms many others don't enjoy, and while I'm grateful for that, it's not really where I'm going with this. So a quick story. The Masters Golf Tournament is one of the toughest tickets to get. There's a waiting list of something like 20 years to get in. The tickets themselves are reasonable, something like $30 or $40, but scalp tickets often go for $1,500 or more. There are corporate tickets out there for companies who sponsor the event, but the problem is, they're all assigned by name and accounted for. If somebody gets caught using a corporate assigned ticket that actually isn't registered to them, it's my understanding the company can lose all of their tickets going forward. Now imagine, if you will, I have 2 tickets to the Masters and an Airbnb for the event next year. And it turns out next March that I find out I'm unable to go. I decide that since I can't go, I want you to be able to use them. But after taking possession of the tickets, you get an offer for $1,500 for each ticket and $3,500 for the rental house. Now you're looking down the barrel of $6,500 of quick cash, or potentially hurting my chances of ever getting Masters tickets again. What are you gonna do? Let's also consider the opposite. What if I call you one day and I know a guy who's selling 2 passes to the Masters with an already booked Airbnb for $6,500, and I want to give you the money to go? Does your decision change? You have the freedom to do what you'd like with the tickets and or the money. In either circumstance, it was a gift, but you also have a choice to make. In scenario A, I could potentially lose my Masters tickets forever because you scalped them. In scenario B, our friendship could easily be strained by the fact that you just pocketed $6,500 and maybe grabbed a Masters t-shirt on eBay just to make like an appearance that you win. Growing up, one of the things my parents tried to impress on me regularly is that life is about choices. There are consequences of choices, both good and bad. And based on my choices, my life had the potential to run a lot more smoothly when I chose the right side of the equation more often than not. They didn't take away my freedom to make those choices though. And as much as it'd be nice just to wrap a bow on this video and say, freedom is the ability to make choices in life, and if you make the right ones each time, life's gonna be peachy. It's not always a straight A to B relationship. The problem with choices and the freedom to choose is the fact that studies have proven that having too many choices actually makes it harder for decisions to be made. Okay, so take the pickle aisle in your local grocery store for instance. If my wife sends me to the grocery store to get some pickles, this is what I'm greeted with. Okay, so my choice now isn't about right and wrong, it's about better or best. And it's most definitely a paralysis to decision making. How could I ever know which pickle is the best pickle for me to buy? Similarly, ask me what restaurant I want to go to dinner tonight, and I'm faced with a crippling decision. With 1,000 options, how could I actually ever make the right call? I have the freedom to go almost anywhere, but when it comes to making that choice, I struggle with it greatly. I often just pray that my wife or my boys will decide so I don't have to. The paradox of endless choices is that when everyone has endless freedom, no one actually has freedom. Today, you've got endless freedom and thousands of choices to make. You got the freedom to behave however you want, but you've got the choice of how you'll react to others. You've got the freedom to say whatever you want, but your words are a choice. You got the freedom to go in any direction you want today, but you can make a choice to lead. You got the freedom to focus on yourself today, but you've got endless chances to choose to serve someone else. You are free to be who you want to be, but what you choose to do this week, what you spend your time on, what you focus and use your resources on, that's what will define you. Choose wisely. Until next time.